Hi, I'm Chris at HandToolGuitars.com, and today I want to do a little introduction to how I approach the process of tap tuning a guitar. There's a lot of different information on the web about tap tuning, and a lot of different approaches out there. A lot of what you see on the internet will show you how to take a top like this and tune it until you tap a particular note. That's not exactly how I approach it. To understand my approach to tap tuning, you really need to understand how an acoustic guitar, or really any acoustic instrument, works. When you pluck a string on a guitar, there's a vibration set up with that string. It is pushing and pulling on the bridge, and that energy from that vibration is going into the bridge and into the soundboard. The soundboard is then vibrating. That vibration is picked up by the air inside this guitar, and that's how it's amplified. It gets amplified in that air and then finally comes out the sound hole so that it's sound that you and I can hear. In my approach to tap tuning, I get the top to the thickness that I wanted, like we did in some earlier videos. It's the bracing that I tune together with the top in what I consider the process of tap tuning. I actually tune the top when it's attached to the sides and the neck is on. That way I have everything that's going to dampen the sound on this guitar is attached, and I'm going to get the sound that I want. I think it's a little truer to the final sound. Going back to how the guitar works, the bracing that you see going through here, and we've got a lattice style bracing, those braces take these vibrations and they radiate them out to different areas in the soundboard. And that's important because we can then change the shape of those braces and either hinder or help that energy transmittal process so that the guitar may carry certain frequencies to one place better than it does another. You definitely want the top to respond to a lot of different frequencies. You know, you're playing a lot of different notes. They're all going to have different frequencies to them. So the bracing plays a very important part in how your guitar sounds. We've got our thickness where we want it to be on the top. So when I tap tune, I'm really shaping and adjusting the bracing, making it higher in points, lower in different spots, so that the guitar overall responds to a lot of different things. And I'm not, again, looking for a particular note in the top. What I'm looking for is some musicality. But when you tap the top, you should be able to hear a musical note of some type. I want it to ring. I want to hear a little sustain. I want to hear something besides just the thud of wood that's not been tuned. You know, there's a lot of difference between and that. You know, by changing the shape and the size of the braces, that's how you change how the top is allowed to vibrate, and therefore you change the response of that section of the soundboard. So when I do this bracing system, you'll see that there are places where highs are going to sound better, other places where lows and midtones will sound better. And that overall picture gives you a really good response over a broad spectrum of frequencies. And that's what you're looking for in a guitar top. Once you've got it tuned and sounding to where it's really musical, then you can go on and complete the guitar.
Okay, this is the inside, showing you the lattice without it being carved. Now to carve it, I just use a simple chisel. This is a small, about 1/4 of an inch or about millimeters, and you just want to take it and go to the top and just slowly scrape them down. And also remember that this is the bass side of the guitar because you're looking at it from the inside. The more flexible the wood is, the lower the frequency it will respond to. The stiffer the wood, the higher the frequency. So where the braces are the thickest, you'll have the most treble. Where you want more bass response, thin them out more. Okay. Now I'm going to show you to start with without it being carved. Okay, now I'm going to carve out some on the bass side. You can see how I'm just thinning them out. You know, I'm still leaving the treble side pretty high here, but just starting to get a little bit more bass response. Remember again, tap it in different locations. And now you can see how we've started working on the treble and some of the interior lattice work too. I'm kind of putting a light on here so you can see the different heights. But I'm starting to work on some of these braces. They're a little thinner in there so that it's taking that bass out into other areas. Here I'm trying to get the treble going. But again, where it's thick is more treble, where it's thin is more bass. And just keep working it until you start to get the responses that you like. And notice also at the bottom of the guitar, the gap is a lot wider than here at the around the sound hole, where the braces almost come up to that tone ring. That just adds to the flexibility of the top. Now you can hear that it's got a little bit more musical tone to it, and that's what you're looking for. Continue shaping it until you're happy with the tone, and then now I'm going to compare the start and the finish. Now here's the finished.